Dear students, in this class I am going to discuss the properties of a Z transform. In the last class, we have started the Z transform. In the previous class, I have explained the introduction of the Z transform. As I said, Z transform is a mathematical tool which is used to convert the difference equation into the algebraic equation in Z domain. The Z transform is used to solve the difference equation of a linear time invariant system. It is used to solve the difference equation of a linear time invariant discrete time system. The Z transform is a discrete time counterpart of the Laplace transform, where the Laplace transform is used to analyze the continuous time signals, whereas the Z transform is used to analyze the discrete time signals or the systems. So in the previous class, I have given the standard definition for the Z transform. Z transform of x of n, if I wanted to determine x of n is a discrete time signal, I can call it is a discrete time signal for which I wanted to calculate the Z transform, then I can go with the equation. X of n is a discrete time signals for which we have to calculate the Z transform. So that it is a discrete time signal, we can call it is a discrete time signal. Discrete time signal is a signal in which signal can be defined, at a specific intervals of time or a specific instant of time. So here x of n is a discrete time signal. We wanted to convert that is into the difference equation, that is an algebraic equation in the Z domain, so that we will be applying the Z transform on the x of n, so that Z transform can be represented x of z. X of z we can get the by applying the Z transform on the given signal, that is a standard notation is sigma n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity, and x of n on which we will be applying the Z transform into z to the power of minus n. As I said, it is the counterpart of the Laplace transform only. If you replace this z is with the s, and if you replace this sigma is with the integration, then that is nothing but it is the Laplace transform only. Laplace transform is used to analyze the continuous time signals only. Continuous time signals can be analyzed by making use of the Fourier transform and the Laplace transform, whereas the Z transform can be analyzed by making use of the Z transform can be used to analyze the discrete time signal, so that we can easily write this one is what? This is x of z and this is x of n. That means what? We have the x of n, it is a discrete time signal on which we applied the Z transform, so that we can get the signal that is x of z. If we are having x of z on which if we apply the inverse Z transform, we can get the signal that is x of n. So in the previous class I have explained there are two types of Z transforms are there. One is unilateral, another one is a bilateral. Unilateral means we can have the signal either left sided or the right sided. That means we can have the formula that is sigma either n is equals to 0 to infinity, or we can have the Z transform that is n is equals to minus infinity to 0. This is called unilateral Z transform. Then the bilateral means what? We can have the Z transform on the both sides, so that sigma n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity including the n is equals to 0 also we can have. This is called as the Z transform. In this class, I am going to explain some of the properties of the Z transform. In the last class, also we have studied about the ROC. ROC is nothing but it is a region of convergence. Region of convergence, that is the values of Z, the values of Z for which x of Z converges is nothing but it must be less than infinity. So ROC we have to plot in case of the Z transform. In case of the Fourier transform, we have to plot the amplitude spectrum and followed by the frequency spectrum. In case of Laplace transform also, we have to plot, that is about the ROC, but in this case ROC we have to take the values of range of values of S, and for which x of S can be converges, that means it must be less than infinity. In case of Laplace transform, you can have the ROC that is in the form of either a square or the rectangle shape, whereas in the case of Z transform we can have the ROC in the circular form. So ROC we can get in case of Z transform, we can have that is in the form of a circle. Now we can call this is about x of Z, and this will be Z. So that for which you can have the ROC is in the form of a circle. So this is the points to be noted in case of Z transform. After solving the one of the problem in case of Z transform, I am going to talk about the some of the properties of Z transform. So that I am going to explain some of the problems in the Z transform, such that we can study the Z transform properties. Then I am going with the one particular problem, that is an example problem. We can assume that is a example problem. That is what? X of n we have, x of n is equals to, we have a to the power of n into u of n. We have x of n is equals to, a to the power of n into u of n. First of all, we must identify whether it is a bilateral or unilateral. Bilateral means it has to have the signal from minus infinity to plus infinity. Unilateral means it can have the signal either in the left sided or the right sided. So that here, based on this u of n, you can have that consideration, that is u of n is nothing but it is a discrete time unit step signal. The u of n is equals to 1 for n greater than or is equals to 0, and u of n is equals to 0 for n less than 0. This is the case. That means what? If I consider u of n whose value is 1 for n greater than 0 onwards, if I consider u of n that is 0 for n less than 0, that means what? If I go with the standard formula of Z transform, that is x of Z is equals to sigma n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity, that is x of n, we can go x of n into Z to the power of minus n. If I take the limits from minus infinity to plus infinity, anyway from minus infinity to 0, whose value is 0 only, so that no need to take that is from minus infinity to plus infinity. I can take directly x of Z is equals to sigma n is equals to 0 to infinity, whose value is 1. So that in place of x of n, what I can write? A to the power of n into u of n is nothing but 1 into Z to the power of minus n. So now in this way you can substitute the values. So now I'm going to simplify this one, that is x of Z is equals to, I can write sigma n is equals to 0 to infinity, I can write an into z to the power of minus n. I can write this one is x of z is equals to sigma n is equals to 0 to infinity. I can write a into z to the power of minus 1 whole to the power of n I can write. So common power I can write. So that I can write that was what? By substituting the various values for the n. By substituting the various values for n, I can have the signal is like this. That is 1 plus, first one substitute n is equals to 0. That means what? A into z to the power of 1 power 0. Anything power 0 will be 1 plus substitute 1, that is a into z to the power of minus 1 plus, that is you can have a into z to the power of minus 1 whole square, and so on you can have. This is similar to the 1 plus a square plus a cube and so on, which is equals to, sum is equals to 1 by 1 minus a. In place of a, what we have now? In place of a, we have a into z to the power of minus 1. So that I can write this one is what? This is equals to, I can write that is 1 by 1 minus a is how much here? A is equals to a into z to the power of minus 1. So that means what? This is x of z. X of z is equals to, we have 1 by 1 minus a into z to the power of minus 1. So it has to be convergence, means it must be less than infinity only. Then only we can say that given x of z is convergence for a range of values of z. So if it is less than infinity, means it must be less than 0 only. It must be less than or greater than 0. It must be greater than 0, so that I can go with this one is consideration. I can go with the for ROC calculation, and if you simplify this one, you can get that is z by z minus a. You can get that is z by z minus a. But here if I take the ROC here, that means what? 1 minus a into z to the power of minus 1 must be greater than 0. That means what? 1 must be greater than a into z to the power of minus 1. That means you can write 1 is greater than a by z. So that z must be greater than a. That means what? To define the ROC, that is a region of convergence, z must be greater than a only. So that by considering that part, we can easily draw the region of convergence. Then I am going with the region of convergence. This is about, it is z, and this is about, it is a real z, we can call it is a imaginary z. Then we can have, this is a origin, we can have the origin. Z must be greater than a. Z must be greater than a means consider this is a. If this is a, this is also a, this is also a, like that you can have the circle. Region of convergence, z must be greater than a. That means what? From the greater than a onwards, it is going to converges. Z of x of z can be converges for z is greater than a. Like this, we can simplify the any z transform. Then if you are good at this one, you can easily write the some other problems, such as now if I take the signal that is about the x of n is equals to, if I take the signal, so we have what? We have a to the power of n into u of n, on which we applied the z transform, such that what we got? We got z by z minus a we got. So in case of a n, I can take 5 to the power of n into u of n. If I apply this z transform, then signal will be here. Here the z domain signal will be here z by z minus a. In place of a, what we have? 5. Like that we can easily determine the signal. Then if you are having the signal that is about, if you are having signal that is about 3 to the power of n into u of n, 3 to the power of n into u of n, on which if we apply the z transform, that will be z by z minus 3 only. Likewise, we can calculate the z transform of any discrete time signal. So anyway, I am going to discuss some of the properties of the z transform, some of the properties of z transform, such that this z transform is going to complete it, and we have to see the one more topic that is in the syllabus, that is DTFT, discrete time Fourier transform. Now I am going with the properties, linearity properties. For example, I am having the signal x1 of n, on which I applied the z transform such that I can get the signal that is in z domain x1 of z. Then if I am having the x2 of n, on which I will be applying the z transform such that I can get the signal is x2 of z. So now I am having the linear combinations of input signals such as a into x1 of n, one signal. I am adding with the another signal that is about to b into x2 of n. This is, now I am assuming it is a single signal on which we will be applying the z transform such that the resultant signal, the z domain signal must be a into x1 of z plus b into x2 of z. If a signal satisfies this linear combinations of input signal and as well as the linear combination of output signal, even applying the z transform also, then we can say that that z transform is having the linearity property. Then we know x1 of n, if you apply the z transform, that will be x1 of z. If we apply the z transform on x2 of n, that will be x2 of z. Then now we have to apply z transform is applied on a into x1 of n plus b into x2 of n. In such cases, we have to get this one so that we know the standard formula. Now assume this total is x of n, so that sigma n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity. In place of x of n, what we have to write? A into x1 of n plus b into x2 of n. A into x1 of n plus b into x2 of n into, we can write it is z to the power of minus n. Now I can write sigma n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity. Then substitute a into x1 of n into z to the power of minus n. I can write plus sigma n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity, that is b into x2 of n into z to the power of minus n. Then I can write this a, I can take outside the summation, that is a into sigma n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity x1 of n into z to the power of minus n plus, I can take b outside, b into sigma n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity x2 of n into z to the power of minus n. So now I can write this is a, and this part is about x1 of z plus b, and this part is about x2 of z. So that here what we got? A into x1 of z plus b into x2 of z. Then this property is called as linearity property. Likewise, we have to go for the another property that is called as time shifting property. Time shifting property we should study. Now I am going to explain the time shifting property. So now I am having the signal. Now I am having the signal that is x of n I am having, on which I am applying the Fourier z transform I am applying, so that the resultant signal will be x of z. So what I am doing now, I am applying some time shifting operation on in the input signal, that is x of n minus k, time shifting operation, we know that. So if we apply the Z transform on the time shifted original signal, then what will be its equivalent Z domain signal? That will be, we can prove that Z to the power of minus k into x of Z we have to prove. Very simple. That is now I have to go with the standard formula. That is a proof I am going with. We know that x of z is equals to, what is the formula? X of z is equals to sigma n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity, minus infinity to plus infinity, then x of n into z to the power of minus n we can write. So now here what we have to go with, then sigma n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity. In place of x of n what we have? X of n minus k into z to the power of minus n. Let assume, let n minus k is equals to p. N minus k is equals to p, so that n is equals to what happened? N is equals to p plus k. We can write it is p plus k. Then I can write this one by substituting here sigma n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity. X of n minus k, I can call it is p, into z to the power of minus n is equals to what we have? N is equals to p plus k. Then you can distribute this one, sigma n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity, x of p into, I can write it is z to the power of minus p into z to the power of minus k. Then I can take this z to the power of minus k outside, z to the power of minus k into sigma n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity, x of p into z to the power of minus p. This is nothing but it is a standard definition for Z transform only. So that resultant will be the z to the power of minus k into this total part is equals to x of z only. So now we got this one. So likewise we have to go with the all the properties of Z transform. Then I am going to discuss the one more Z transform property, that is time reversal. Time reversal, what happens here? We are having the x of n on which we will be applying the Z transform, so that the resultant signal will be x of z. If this x of n is applied with the reverse time reversal, then if we apply the Z transform on that particular signal, then what its Z transform we should study, that it will be x of z to the power of minus 1. So that we have to prove. Let we know that x of z is equals to sigma n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n into z to the power of minus n. But x of z is equals to, we have, this is the formula, so that what we can write here, sigma n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity. Then this will be what we can write, this is x of minus n, we have x of minus n into z to the power of minus n. Then I can write, I can take minus n is equals to p now, minus n is equals to p, so that I can write this is n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity, this is x of p into z to the power of this minus n is equals to p, right? Minus n is equals to p. So that minus n is equals to p means I can write this is about minus as it is only. Minus as it is, n is equals to minus p, so that I can write minus p. I can write minus p. So that here this we can write this is about, here we can write this is about the sigma n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity x of p into z to the power of minus p into z to the power of minus 1. So you can take the z power of minus 1 is outside, is equals to n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity x of p into z to the power of minus p. It is the standard notation for the z transform, so that we can write it is about what? It is x z inverse of, we can write it is x of z, or simply you can write that is x1 by z, that is about x1 by z, or also you can write this one. Likewise, we can go with the various properties of the Laplace transform. If you are good at the Fourier transform properties, that is very similar to understand, that is very similar to and very easy to understand to the remaining properties such as Laplace transform and the Z transform. So by discussing the one more property, I am going to close this one, that is about the, for example, we have the signal x of n we have, on which we applied the z transform there, so that what will be, we will be getting, that is x of z we can get. X of z we can get. But in place of x of n, what we have? We have that is a n into x of n, and on which we applying the z transform, so that what will be, what we can get. So this just now we discussed, this is we can get x of z by a we will get. So we will do this one. So now proof I am going, x of z is equals to, what is the formula? That is sigma n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n into z to the power of minus n, x of n into z to the power of minus n. But in place of x of n, what we have? Sigma minus sigma n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity. X of n we have a to the power of n into x of n into z to the power of minus n. Then what I can write, this one is in sigma n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity. I can take x of n as it is, into I can write a into, I can write this is, this I can write this is a z to the power of minus n I can write. So here, but here you can have this minus n here, so that I can go with the minus, minus into plus, so that now I am getting the same. So that what he are getting, I am, this is a standard form of z transform only, so that x of, in place of z what I have in place of x I have, that is a to the power of minus 1 into z, so that I can write x of z by a. So this is about the z transform of the given signal. If you are good at this one, that means what? I am going with the conclusion, a to the power of n into x of n, on which if we apply the z transform, what we will get? X of z by a. And similar to this one, if I am having a to the power of minus n into x of n, what I can get? If I apply the z transform of this one, I will get x of az only. So if I am having here is e to the power of j omega n x of n, if I apply the z transform on this one, I can get this is x of z by e to the power of j omega n. And if it is having e power of minus j omega n x of n, if we apply the z transform on this one, we can get x of e to the power of j omega n into z. Likewise, we can go with the various properties of the z transform. Various properties of z transform. One long answer question can be asked from properties of Fourier transform, Laplace transform, Z transform. This is third unit, this is fifth unit, but the procedure remains same for all these properties. So if you are good at all these properties, at least you can get the 10 marks in the external examination. So that everyone must be careful about this transforms. What are the transform? Laplace transform, Fourier transform and the Z transform. Fourier transform and the Laplace transform are used to analyze the continuous time signals, whereas Z transform is used to analyze the discrete time signals. This is about the discrete time signals. These two are about the continuous time signals. So likewise, with the one more class, this 50% of the fifth unit will be completed. Thank you, students.